What's up, guys? VIP Access with your girl is coming to you from location. Today we are at the Village Creative where we launch a super mega project festival called Mook Fest by the team behind Mook. Very happy to have collaborated with them, and while here I bumped into my girl Poizon IV all the way from the US of A and Kenya.
Hi, girl. Good to see you. I know. It's always a pleasure.
How are you?
I'm cold, man. It's cold in Nairobi right now. I'm not used to being cold at this time of the year, but other than that, I'm fantastic.
I literally feel like you just came out of your Instagram hangout with Drake, hang out with Trey Songs, and now you're hanging out with me.
That's because you're just as important, if not more, you know? And sidebar, Drake is still on my to-meet list yet. Not yet, but, you know.
So guys, I have to kind of try and do an introduction of Poizon. It's really hard to introduce her, but she's one of those very brilliant Kenyans who go out there, do the most, really think with their brains and push the boundaries. She's a dope artist. She's a dope DJ. I mean, she's a radio personality. She's a dope interviewer. And she's playing, she's actually, when I say playing, and then I'm thinking about basketball, I'm like, I hope you're not thinking she's playing basketball, because she's playing records.
Music for the players. No, so it's been, first of all, thank you. You are so kind. I'm just trying to live up to the great shoes that you set out here, girl. But I am, still with the Mavericks, still DJing for one of my favorite and the best NBA team out there. It's been great. I mean, it's opened up so many doors.
Wait.
Yeah.
I like how you're being very humble about it. So she plays for the Dallas Mavericks, and you're the second, like, only female DJ they ever had. Yeah. And what does that mean? And I mean, it must be quite competitive to be a DJ, for such a team. Not just a female DJ, like DJ period. But girl, you're there.
I grew up working for the team, actually. I'm sure a lot of y'all may or may not have seen my picture. I think I was like 16 or 17 in that picture. I used to be a ball girl, so I was one of the kids who gets to like wipe the floor where the players fall and rebound for them when they're warming up, and a slew of other game day duties at the arena. So I did that for 5 years. And I went to a big basketball school. I went to Marquette. And actually, I've always been into sports. But my goal was more on the admin business side. I wanted to be the first female commissioner of the NBA, and so I was going to go to business school and law school, and then I started DJing somewhere in between. Actually, the person who I reached out to was a PR intern when I was there. So at that point, she was a CMO. And unfortunately, they didn't have any opportunities then. And she was like, we'll keep you in mind and whatever else. And then like 2 months later, I got a call like, hey, are you still interested in that job? And I mean, it's just been history ever since. So just God's plan.
In how many years did you rise the ranks from wiping the floors to this? This is quite actually commendable.
I was 12. I started at 12, and I left when I went to college, so I was 18, so about 5-6 years, and I came back at 26, I think. So literally, I grew up. Actually, in the interview, they asked me, they were like, why should we hire you? That famous question that we all love, right? You're not going to have to teach me much. I'm just going to be regurgitating what I've accumulated over the 7-8 years that I've been in this building before.
What do you think it takes to be a dope DJ? And I also feel like when you're an African or when you're a Kenyan and you're on that international stage, you kind of also want to represent African music. So what does it take to be able to balance? Because at the same time, there's some songs which are actually major hits even internationally and not in Africa.
But I think we have to be careful to not treat it as a fad, because especially in radio, I work in radio, and you hear a lot of execs say, oh, this Afrobeat, Afrofusion, Afro whatever you want to call it phase is just a fad, much like dance hall had its place in commercial music in the early 2000s or whatever. But I'm committed to the cause. I think it takes a commitment to the cause. In the arena, this whole season, it started as a joke, but I started to just play a whole bunch of records, and it was insane how much traction I was able to get for certain artists, and even for myself and for the team. But it's more so now. It's not a thing that I'm doing because for the fame factor. I'm doing it because I understand that our society needs it, our community needs it, our artists need it, our artists deserve it. And as a DJ, I think that we need not forget that we don't come before the artist. The artist comes first. but we come first to present the artist's music.
You've interacted with the top of the top of artists from Africa and beyond. What do you think African artists need to do more to get there? Because I feel like Africans sometimes have a lot of pressure and tend to want to change their sound to sound like somebody else because of this.
All it takes is one person to go through the door, and they're going to come searching for the next however many that can go through that same door. Now, we have right here in Kenya, I can even just say because we're here, let's not even focus on anywhere else, you know. We have some of the world's most talented human beings to begin with. I think that we've been conditioned to think of us as the opposite, especially Africans. And so we need to shed those stereotypes, and because they've been placed on us. We've never been like that. We're a collectivist society naturally. We do everything the way we're supposed to. But the world is trying to come in and rewrite that narrative. And I think it's truly because they're afraid of what will happen if we are to truly recognize our power, you know. So let that person go. Let them go, and then they'll come back and they'll throw the rope down. And once you have a rope, you have the road. So they climb up, and you know, it's really easy. Support each other genuinely.
Me and you are forever talking about raising each other or checking out each other, and you're always like bigging me up, and you know, vice versa. So where'd you get this from? Because I'm also quite passionate about it, and it's because I've been raised by my mommy, and I have all these sisters. I mean, I have one brother, but it's just like the energy around me, and you know,
God trusted us so much that he was like, you, my friend, are the one who's going to be responsible for giving life. And I think that in itself is the most powerful statement. I mean, I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. I've done a lot. And I know that it's not completely fair for us out there right now, you know, especially as a Black woman, especially as an African woman, especially as a young woman, especially as a woman in our profession. It's like you have everything stacked against you. You know, I was raised with my mother and my grandmother, like my two favorite women in the world. And now I'm raising a little girl, you know, and so it's so important. And then, you know, just the culture and the society in which we come from, and, you know, the girl child and the neglect that we've gone through just culturally, you know what I mean? And we have a lot to catch up to.
Who are the kind of people who come to watch the game, or what are the kind of people who you play their music and they're like, and then after that they're like, what, can I get an autograph, or can I get your email? Come on,
you know, our point guard is really good friends with J. Cole, so he's at games all the time. Or at least he's come to a few games, and so of course, but for Dennis, I've incorporated a whole bunch of J. Cole stuff into our playlist. I just hope that I can encourage young women, young mothers. I mean, whoever you are, if you have a dream, I just talked about this earlier, just write it down, and somehow the universe has a way of converging to make sure that we all live out our dreams. So, and thank you. First of all, y'all don't know, but I am such a huge fan of this girl, always have been, and it's an honor to even have this conversation, because, you know, I fangirl over you all the time. But congratulations to you and everything you have going on, and stay fabulous. I need all the inspiration I can get, and I have it from you. So,
oh, thank you so much. So I'm just gonna do that thing. I just drank Ivy's Poizon, and from here onwards, I just need to listen to more of her songs, her beats. VIP Access is checking out, and thank you so much, Ivy. It's been dope. Watch us next week. We're gonna be having yet another celebrity A-lister.